Hello, my name is Aaron Johnston. I am currently going through my Project and Portfolio 4 course at Full Sail University while I pursue my game design bachelor's degree. Today I'm going to be showcasing a little bit about how I created a tic-tac-toe game within Unity that is fully functional. So as you can see, starting out with my Trello board here, I've got all the information that we tracked and having the win conditions, the asset creations, the user actions, and the data setup to go along with that. But first, let's go ahead and jump over to Unity, and so I can show you kind of how all this functions and works. So starting off right off the bat, you're going to see that menu. We've got a couple of buttons here. First, the exit. It's going to either end the playing within the Unity editor, or if the application is actually running, it will exit out of the application for you. When we click play, it'll take us over to the gameplay screen. Over here, you're going to see immediately that it's the player one's turn, and player one starts with X. That's going to be indicated with a little check mark there. We can change that. So if we want to have player two start, we change that information, update it. It's going to automatically, you're going to know that player two is starting. Let's go ahead and open up this so we can also see the interactions with the script here as we're messing with us. So let's change that back, and you're going to notice this change back to 1. So that's how we indicate what player is actually moving next. So it's player one's turn. We're going to start clicking through here. You'll see that the X's are for player one and the O's are for player two, and player one just won with a diagonal. So that's going to track that information right there on the side. We reset the board. Let's try it with player two starting. We update that information. Player two starts with an O. We play through the same scenario. Player two's got a diagonal with the circles. Then it's going to track that information there as well. So we restart that board again. Let's go back to player one starting, just to show some of the win conditions here. We've got all of those mapped out for the game. We also have the draw condition. So let's see if I can lose on purpose here. There. And that ends in a draw. So the game recognizes that there is no more zero elements left in that array. So there's no more places for the players to place additional icons, so the game is going to recognize that as a draw. The other thing I wanted to highlight with this as well, once a player wins, the rest of these fields become disabled. So as soon as that win condition hits, you're not able to add additional icons to the game board. Go ahead and reset that. And then if you want to reset those wins, you can simply go back to the menu, go to play again, or if you're just done playing, go ahead and exit out from that game menu as well. I did go ahead and create some prefabs. So I had the X's and the O's. I also did just the lines and the fields there. And then once I had everything put together and all the prefabs in place, I actually went ahead and created a prefab of the full game board. So that would include all of those lines, the fields, and the X's and O's there as well. So let's go back to the Trello board a little bit. And if we're looking at these cards, so the win conditions, being able to keep track of all that information and check through those boxes, the asset creation with working with creating the prefabs and not actually doing the instantiations of the prefabs, but actually activating and deactivating those, having the win declarations. Let's see, with the user actions, of course, being able to interact with the game board and keep track of all that information with the scoring and the selection of what player goes first, having that menu in there and being able to reset the game as well. And then with the data setup of having those arrays created to be able to store all that information and be able to track if there is going to be a win condition met or not. So there was that Trello board. Let's take a look at some of the specific coding that I had a lot of fun doing. So this was the main script here. As you can see, there's a lot of information that was being tracked in this. But right off the bat, we're setting the field array size. The player turn is based on the number of players that is going to be entered in there. The turn is set right off the bat. The player wins is reset to 0 at the start of this scene. And then on update, we're checking for that win. Every second we're checking to see if there's going to be a win condition met there. But that is the highlight of that. Then we've got the field actions, and then of course the scene manager. But I do appreciate your time today. I appreciate you watching. Again, my name is Aaron Johnston.